The champagne flute shattered in my hand as I watched my fiancé kiss my sister. Right there, in front of 200 guests, at my own engagement party. I'm Caitlin, and this was supposed to be my perfect night. Instead, I stood frozen in my designer gown, blood dripping from where the glass cut my palm, while Justin raised his drink to the real woman who captured my heart. The worst part? Callie was wearing my dress, the one I'd spent months searching for, the one that disappeared from my closet last week. She'd played it off as a mix-up with the dry cleaners. Now I knew better. "Oh, honey, you're bleeding!" My mother rushed forward, ever the perfect hostess, more concerned with the drops of red staining the marble floor than my wounds. "Let's get you cleaned up." I jerked away from her touch. "Don't!" The ballroom fell silent. 200 pairs of eyes watched me unravel. Justin cleared his throat, that practiced corporate smile never leaving his face. "Katie, darling, let's talk about this privately." "Talk about what?" My voice came out eerily calm. "How long you've been fucking my sister? Or how everyone here knew except me?" Gasps rippled through the crowd. My father stared into his whiskey. Callie, my baby sister, my best friend since childhood, just smirked and wrapped her arm around Justin's waist. "You're making a scene," my mother hissed. I laughed. It sounded unhinged even to my ears. "You're right, Mom. I am making a scene. So I'll leave you to your perfect party." I turned to the crowd, raising my bleeding hand like a toast. "Thank you all for coming to witness my humiliation. The bar's open until midnight. Enjoy the show." I walked out, head high, ignoring the whispers. The valet took one look at my face and rushed to get my car. Blood dripped onto the leather seats as I drove, but I couldn't feel the pain. I couldn't feel anything. My phone buzzed constantly. Raylyn, my best friend, sent a dozen messages. "OMG, are you okay? That bastard! Where are you? I'll kill them both!" I turned it off and drove to Justin's penthouse. My keys still worked. He hadn't expected me to leave the party this early. His laptop sat on the kitchen counter, still logged in. He never thought I'd betray his trust. Funny how that works. 20 minutes later, I had copied everything. Emails, photos, financial records. My hands shook as I found a folder labeled Tessera Protocol, password protected. But I knew Justin. He used the same password for everything. His mother's maiden name plus his birth year. The file opened, revealing hundreds of documents, bank statements, offshore accounts, and emails. So many emails. My phone rang. The landline this time. Raylyn. "Where are you? I'm worried sick." "I'm fine." My voice sounded distant, hollow. "Actually, no, I'm not fine. I'm going to destroy them, Ray. All of them." "Good." She didn't hesitate. "What do you need?" "A place to stay tonight. And tomorrow. Tomorrow we start planning." I hung up and took one last look around the penthouse where I'd planned to build a life. On the mantel, a photo of Justin and me in Bali. His surprise proposal. All lies. The encrypted folder blinked on the laptop screen. Whatever secrets Justin was hiding, they were worth protecting. Worth encrypting. Worth ruining my life over. I smiled, tasting blood where I'd bitten my lip. They wanted to see a real woman? Fine. I'd show them one they'd never forget. My hand throbbed as I typed one last email from Justin's account to myself. Subject line: everything. Attached: the entire Tessera folder. Let the games begin. "Holy shit," Raylyn whispered, scrolling through the emails on her laptop. 9 months! They've been planning this for 9 months. I paced her living room, clutching my third cup of coffee. Morning light filtered through the windows, making my eyes burn after a sleepless night. "Keep reading. There has to be more. Here's one from March." She cleared her throat. "My love, everything's set. Kay doesn't suspect a thing. The trust transfer will be complete after the wedding." Raylyn looked up. "What trust transfer?" "I don't know." I grabbed my phone, pulled up my banking app. "Everything looks normal, but..." "Wait." Raylyn pointed at the screen. "Who's Elisa Thompson? She keeps coming up in these threads." I leaned in. The name appeared in several encrypted emails, always with a warning tone. Justin had written, "Handle the Elisa situation. We can't risk another incident." "Search her name," I said. 5 minutes later, we stared at a news article from 2 years ago. Local charity director steps down after mental health crisis. The photo showed a striking woman in her early 30s, Elisa Thompson. She worked with Justin at the Children's Hope Foundation. Raylan read, "Resigned suddenly. Rumors of inappropriate behavior. Jesus, look at the comments." I was already typing, creating a burner email account. My message to Elisa was simple. "I'm Justin Armstrong's ex-fiancé. I think we need to talk." "You really think she'll respond?" Raylan asked. My phone buzzed. A text from Justin. "Katie, please, let me explain. What happened last night?" I deleted it without reading further. 3 more texts followed. From my mother, Callie, even my father. "Delete. Delete. Delete. Remember when Justin first asked me out?" I said, surprising myself with the memory. "That charity gala 2 years ago. He was so perfect." "Too perfect," Raylan muttered. "He knew everything about me, my favorite wine, the books on my nightstand, how I take my coffee." I laughed bitterly. Now I wonder if Callie told him all that. The laptop pinged. New email from ethompson@gmail.com. Subject, Re. Justin Armstrong. "You're not the first. Meet me at Riverside Coffee, 2 p.m. Come alone." Raylyn grabbed her car keys. "I'm driving you." The email said, "I'll wait in the car, but after last night, no way you're going alone." At 1:58 p.m., I walked into Riverside Coffee. Elisa sat in a corner booth, looking exactly like her photo, but older somehow. Tired. She watched me approach with knowing eyes. "You look better than I did," she said as I sat down. "When I found out, I had a public breakdown. Ended up in the hospital." "Found out what?" She pulled out a USB drive. "Everything. The fraud, the shell companies, the way he uses women's identities to secure loans, then transfers the debt to them." She slid it across the table. "I tried to expose him. He threatened my family." My hands shook as I took the drive. "Why help me now?" "Because you have something I didn't." She smiled grimly. "Proof. Those encrypted files you mentioned in your email, they're the missing piece." She stood up. "But be careful. Justin doesn't just destroy careers. He destroys lives." "I'm already destroyed," I said. "No." She shook her head. "You're angry. Use it. But watch your back, especially with family. Your sister wasn't his first accomplice." Back in the car, Raylyn watched me plug the USB into her laptop. Dozens of files appeared. Financial records, photos, transcripts, and at the bottom, a video file. "Play it," Raylyn said softly. Justin's face filled the screen. 2 years younger, but wearing that same practiced smile. He was speaking to someone off camera. "Once the wedding's done, we transfer everything to the Cayman account. Elisa's reputation is ruined. No one will believe her now. And the best part? It's all perfectly legal." I closed the laptop, my mind racing. "Ray, I need you to help me find a good private investigator. Someone discreet." "Already on it." She started the car. "I know just the guy." Wade didn't look like a private investigator. In his faded jeans and flannel shirt, he could have been any guy at a coffee shop working on his laptop. But his eyes were sharp, missing nothing as he reviewed Elisa's files. "Your fiancé's been busy," he said, scrolling through documents. "These shell companies, they're all registered under variations of your name. Catherine, Kate, Kathleen. He's been building this for months." "Can you prove it's fraud?" I asked. "Better?" Wade turned the laptop toward me. "I can prove he's done it before. 3 times. And your sister? She's been his partner since the Elisa Thompson case." Raylyn squeezed my hand under the table. "What about the trust fund transfers?" "That's where it gets interesting." Wade pulled up a bank statement. "Your parents dissolved your trust fund 6 months ago. The money was redirected to an account in the Caymans, under Callie's name." The coffee in my stomach turned to acid. My parents knew? They signed the papers. He looked genuinely apologetic. Want to guess what else I found? Marriage license application, dated last week. Your sister and Justin are planning a wedding. 2 weeks from now. I stood up so fast my chair scraped against the floor. I need air. Outside, the autumn wind bit through my thin jacket. Raylene followed me, waiting while I caught my breath. I have to see them, I said. My parents. I need to look them in the eyes. You sure that's wise? No, but I need to know. An hour later, I walked into my childhood home. The place still smelled like my mother's expensive candles and false promises. Caitlin! Mom's smile was brittle. I was just about to call, about the other night. Save it. I walked past her into the living room. Where's Dad? In his study. Darling, you have to understand. Understand what? I turned to face her. How long you've been planning this? Planning? She laughed nervously. Sweetheart, nobody planned anything. These things just happen. And really, it's for the best. Callie and Justin, they have a connection. A connection to my trust fund? Her face went white. Behind her, I heard my father's study door open. What's going on? He asked. Ask Mom about the trust fund transfer, I said. Ask her about the shell companies in my name. Or better yet, ask her about the wedding you're funding in 2 weeks. You're being dramatic, Mom snapped. Justin explained everything. Those companies are legitimate investments. That I never agreed to? That could land me in federal prison? Dad stepped forward. Prison? Ava, what is she talking about? The front door opened. Callie walked in, freezing when she saw me. She was wearing a new designer dress, probably bought with my money. Well, she said, recovering quickly, if it isn't the runaway bride. If it isn't the professional parasite. I smiled sweetly. How's the wedding planning going? She blanched. How did you? No. I know everything, little sister. The fraud, the theft, the lies. I turned to my parents. And I know you helped them. We did what was best, Mom insisted. Callie and Justin have a real future. You were just settling. The words hit like slaps, but I kept my face neutral. Funny. That's exactly what the FBI will think when they see the evidence. You wouldn't, Callie whispered. Try me. I headed for the door, then paused. Oh, and Callie? That dress looks cheap on you. Back in my car, I called Wade. How'd it go? He asked. They're scared. But something's not right. My mother, she was too confident. About that. He paused. I found something else. An offshore account, much bigger than the others. Your parents have been moving money there for years. How much? Millions. And get this, monthly payments started going out 2 years ago, to someone named Elisa Thompson. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. She's working with them? Looks that way. And Caitlin, those payments? They started right after you met Justin. I thought about Elisa's knowing eyes, her convenient evidence. The perfect trap, perfectly laid. Send me everything you have, I said. It's time to change the game. The charity gala buzzed with Manhattan's elite, all oblivious to the bomb I was about to drop. My press badge read, Sarah Mitchell, Financial Times. Amazing what Wade could arrange with a few calls. Justin stood at the bar, one arm around Callie's waist. They looked perfect together, both wearing black, both wearing lies. I adjusted my wig and glasses and approached with my recorder ready. Mr. Armstrong, Sarah Mitchell, I'm doing a piece on innovative charity leadership. Justin's practiced smile appeared. Of course. Always happy to discuss our work at Children's Hope. Fascinating organization, I said, clicking record. Especially the recent audit findings. His smile flickered. Callie's grip on her champagne flute tightened. I'm not aware of any audit, Justin said smoothly. No? The SEC seems very aware. I pulled out my phone, showed him the email I'd sent an hour ago, from an anonymous account to every major financial publication. Care to comment on the Tessera protocol? The color drained from his face. Callie excused herself, practically running to the bathroom. Who are you? Justin grabbed my arm, pulling me toward a quiet hallway. I removed my glasses. Hello, darling. Katie. He released me like I'd burned him. What have you done? Me? I laughed. I just sent some interesting documents to a few journalists. You're the one who committed fraud. Those documents are encrypted. Protected. We're protected. I stepped closer. Smile for the cameras, darling. Your reckoning just went live. His phone buzzed, then buzzed again, and again. The story was breaking. You don't understand, he hissed. This isn't just about me, your sister. We'll go down with you? I know. I straightened his tie, enjoying how he flinched. But here's what you don't know. I found Elisa's offshore account, the one my parents have been paying her to help trap me. Did you really think I wouldn't figure it out? You're making a mistake. No, Justin. The mistake was thinking I was weak. I showed him my phone screen, his private emails, now uploaded to a cloud server. One click and these go public too. Every scam, every woman, every dirty little secret. What do you want? World peace, true love, my trust fund back? I pretended to think. But I'll settle for watching you squirm. Callie returned, mascara smeared. The Times just called me. Justin, what's happening? Ask your sister, he snapped. You knew, I told her. About Elisa. About all of it. Did they pay you too, or was destroying my life payment enough? You don't understand, Callie said, echoing Justin. Mom and Dad. Save it. I headed for the exit, then turned back. Oh, and Callie? I hear orange is very slimming. Good thing, since prison jumpsuits only come in one color. Outside, Wade waited in his car. It's done, I said, sliding into the passenger seat. How long until the story breaks? Minutes, maybe seconds. He handed me a coffee. But there's something else. That pregnancy test you asked me to check, it's negative. I nearly dropped the cup. What? The one Callie showed your parents last week? Fake. She's not pregnant. Of course. The final manipulation. The perfect trap to ensure the wedding happened quickly. I pulled out my phone, typed a quick message to my mother. Congratulations. Your favorite daughter is lying about carrying your grandchild. Better check that wedding venue deposit. You okay? Wade asked softly. No. I watched the gala lights fade in the rearview mirror. But I will be, once they're all exposed. My phone buzzed. Callie calling. I declined it, but her text came through anyway. You want the truth about Mom and Dad? Fine. Meet me tomorrow, alone. There's something you need to know about why they chose me. I showed Wade the message. It's a trap, he said. Obviously, I smiled. And I'm going to walk right into it. The diner was empty, except for Callie, sitting in a corner booth with 2 cups of coffee. She looked smaller somehow, without Justin's shadow looming over her. You came alone? She asked as I sat down. Unlike you. I nodded toward the window, where our mother's Mercedes was poorly hidden behind a delivery truck. Really, Callie? She had the grace to look embarrassed. I had to tell her. Of course you did, just like you had to tell her everything else. I leaned back. So what's this truth I need to know? First, you need to understand. No. I cut her off. No manipulation, no games. Just tell me why they chose you. Callie pulled out a folder, hands shaking slightly. Because I'm actually their daughter. I stared at the papers she slid across the table. DNA results, hospital records, adoption papers. Mom had an affair, Callie said quietly. 28 years ago, with her tennis instructor. You were the result. The coffee turned to acid in my stomach. You're lying. Dad found out when you were 2. That's why everything changed. Why they had me. They needed a real heir for the family fortune. I thought about my childhood. The constant criticism, the subtle digs, the way they always preferred Callie. It made a sick kind of sense. So what? I kept my voice steady. They decided to punish me by stealing my trust fund? By helping Justin destroy my life? The trust fund was never yours. She pulled out more documents. Legally, it belonged to the firstborn legitimate heir. That's me. And Justin? Was he part of this master plan too? No. Callie looked down. He was just convenient. When he started asking questions about you, Mom saw an opportunity. She told him about your adoption, about the trust fund, suggested he pursue me instead. How generous of her. I stood up. We're done here. Wait! Callie grabbed my arm. There's more. Mom! She's been paying Elisa for years. Not to trap you, to keep her quiet about other adoptions. What? You're not the only one. Mom's been helping rich families hide their mistakes for decades. Elisa found out, threatened to expose everything. My phone buzzed. A text from Wade. Got into your mother's private email. You need to see this now. Let me guess, I said to Callie. Mom's running some kind of black market adoption ring? Callie's face told me everything. That's why she's so desperate to keep this quiet, I continued. Not just about me, about all of it. Please, Callie whispered. If this gets out... What? You'll lose your precious inheritance? Your perfect family image? I laughed. Too late. Check the news. Her phone chimed. Then our mother burst through the diner door, face white with fury. What have you done? She hissed. I showed her my screen. The breaking news story. Prominent socialite linked to illegal adoption scheme. You ungrateful. Save it. I stood up. I've sent everything to the FBI. The fraud, the adoptions, all of it. Your empire's finished, Mom. You're destroying this family. No. I grabbed my bag. You did that the moment you decided I wasn't worth loving. Outside, Wade was waiting. You okay? No. I watched through the window as my mother collapsed into a booth, Callie trying to comfort her. But I will be. What's next? Elisa called. Says she has more evidence about the adoption ring. Wants to meet. Of course she does. I got into his car. Let's go hear what other secrets my mother's been keeping. You sure about this? I thought about all the other babies like me, given away, hidden, erased. Yes. It's time everyone knew the truth. My phone buzzed one last time. A text from my father. I loved you anyway, despite everything. I'm sorry I wasn't stronger. I deleted it without replying. Some apologies come too late. Elisa's penthouse wasn't what I expected. No furniture except a desk covered in files, and a wall of photos. Faces of women, children, connected by red string like a detective movie. 20 years of evidence, Elisa said, following my gaze. Your mother's been busy. Why show me this now? Because of this. She handed me a photo. A woman who looked exactly like me, dated 1994. Meet your birth mother, Maria. She didn't give you up willingly. My hands shook. What do you mean? Your mother, Ava, she blackmailed Maria, threatened to have her deported, then paid her to disappear. Elisa pulled out more photos. She did this dozens of times. Rich families paying to adopt babies from vulnerable women. And you've known all this time? Anger crept into my voice. While taking her money? I needed proof. Resources. She gestured to the wall. Now I have both. Thanks to you exposing the financial fraud, the FBI's already investigating. But they don't know the whole story. My phone buzzed. Wade. Something's wrong. Callie just withdrew $2 million from an account we didn't know about. Excuse me, I said, stepping onto Elisa's balcony. I called Wade. Where's she sending it? I asked. That's the thing. It's going to an account in your name, the one Justin set up. Realization hit like ice water. They're framing me. I turned back to the penthouse, but Elisa was gone. Her desk drawer was open, empty. Wade, I said slowly, when did you tell me about Callie's withdrawal? What? I didn't. The balcony door slammed shut, locked. Through the glass, I saw Elisa smiling, holding up her phone. Sorry, Caitlin, she said, but your mother pays better. I called Wade again. They set me up. Get to Elisa's penthouse, now. Sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. I looked over the balcony, 15 floors up, but there was a maintenance ladder leading to the floor below. Thank God for my practical shoes. By the time the police burst in, I was in the stairwell, running down. My phone buzzed with news alerts. Socialite's daughter behind illegal adoption ring. Trust fund heiress linked to financial fraud. FBI investigating charity scandal. Outside, Wade's car screeched to a stop. They're playing us, I said, jumping in. All of them. Elisa, my mother, Callie, they're in it together. Not for long. He handed me his laptop. Remember those encrypted files? I found something they missed. Your mother's real records. The ones that prove she was selling babies, not arranging adoptions. Can we prove it? Better. He smiled grimly. We can show everyone, tonight. I pulled out my phone, typed quickly. Dear Mom, Dad, Callie, Justin, and Elisa, you're all invited to my Freedom Gala, tonight, 8 p.m., Plaza Hotel, black tie optional, truth required. They won't come, Wade said. They will. I showed him the second message I'd drafted. Attend, or these files go to every news outlet in the country. Your choice. My phone exploded with responses. You're making a mistake. Mom, let's talk about this. Justin, please, sister. Callie. I ignored them all and called Raylin. The ballroom's ready, she said. Reporters are confirmed? You sure about this? I thought about Maria, my real mother, about all the other women like her, about the little girl I was, never understanding why I wasn't good enough. Yes, I said. Time to burn it all down? Wade glanced at me. No going back after this? Good. I watched the city blur past. I'm tired of looking back anyway. The Plaza Hotel loomed ahead, its lights promising one hell of a show. Tonight, everyone would learn the truth, even the parts I didn't want to face. Let them come. Let them try to stop me. I had nothing left to lose and everything to expose. The Plaza Hotel ballroom filled with reporters, society photographers, and confused guests. My mother arrived first, wearing her favorite pearls like armor. Justin and Callie slipped in minutes later, holding hands so tightly their knuckles were white. Dad looked lost, while Elisa prowled the edges like a cornered cat. Ready? Raylan squeezed my hand. I nodded, stepping onto the small stage. The microphone feedback silenced the room. Welcome to my Freedom Gala, I said, though I suppose Truth Party would be more accurate. Camera flashes exploded. My mother started forward, but security blocked her path. Let's start with a story, I continued. Once upon a time, there was a woman who built an empire on stolen babies and broken hearts. Mom, want to tell everyone about Maria? Or should I? Caitlin, stop this, she hissed. Maria was my real mother, an immigrant who thought she was getting prenatal care at my mother's charity clinic. Instead, she got blackmail, threats, and her baby stolen. I clicked a remote. Documents appeared on the screen behind me. But she wasn't the only one, was she, Mom? The crowd murmured as more documents appeared. Proof of dozens of forced adoptions, payoffs, threats. Then there's my dear sister and ex-fiancé. I smiled at their pale faces. Such a perfect couple. A fraudster and his accomplice, stealing my identity, my trust fund, my life. But that wasn't enough, was it? Justin stepped forward. Whatever you think you know? I know everything. Another click. Banking records filled the screen. Every shell company, every stolen dollar, every woman you've destroyed, including the 3 before me. Callie burst out. He made me do it! Shut up! Justin grabbed her arm. Don't bother, sis. I know Mom orchestrated the whole thing, just like she orchestrated Elisa's involvement. I turned to the hovering reporters. Fun fact, Elisa isn't a victim. She's been my mother's fixer for years, helping hide evidence of the adoption scheme. Elisa bolted for the door. 2 FBI agents stepped out of the shadows to block her path. You see, I continued, while you were all plotting to frame me, I was working with the FBI. Recording everything, gathering proof, And now, I spread my arms wide. Now everyone knows the truth. The ballroom erupted in chaos. Reporters shouted questions. Photographers' flashes strobed. My mother crumpled into a chair, her perfect facade finally cracking. "You've ruined everything," she whispered as agents approached her. "No, Mom, you did that yourself." Justin tried to run. He made it 3 steps before Wade tackled him. "That's for all the women you hurt," he said, snapping handcuffs around Justin's wrists. Callie just stood there, tears streaking her makeup. "What happens now?" "Now?" I watched as agents led our mother away. "Now you face the consequences. All of you." Dad approached me slowly. "I should have protected you." "Yes," I said. "You should have." The arrests took hours. Statements were given, evidence catalogued. Through it all, I stood on that stage, watching my family's empire crumble. Finally, only Wade, Raylyn, and I remained. "You okay?" Wade asked softly. "I don't know." I looked at the empty ballroom, the scattered evidence of justice served. "But I will be." "There's one more thing," Raylyn said. "We found Maria." My heart stopped. "What?" "She's alive, in Arizona." She handed me a photo. "She's been looking for you." I stared at the woman in the picture. My eyes, my smile, my truth. "Want to meet her?" Wade asked. Outside, dawn was breaking over Manhattan. Somewhere in a police station, my family was being processed. Somewhere in Arizona, my real mother was waiting. "Yes," I said, "but first, I need a drink." Raylyn laughed. "Now that's the Caitlin I know." We walked out together, leaving behind the ruins of lies and the weight of revenge. Ahead lay something better. Freedom, truth, and maybe even peace. But first, that drink. The Arizona sun hit differently than New York's. Warmer, more honest somehow. I sat in Maria's garden, watching her tend to her tomato plants with the same hands that had fought to keep me 28 years ago. "Your mother, Ava, she came to my hospital room," Maria said, her accent soft but clear. "Told me if I didn't sign, she'd have me deported. I was 19, illegal, scared." She looked at me. "Not a day passed I didn't think of you." "Did you know?" I asked. "About the others?" "Not until I saw the news." She sat beside me. "You are brave, Mihija. Braver than I was." My phone buzzed. A news alert. "Socialite pleads guilty in adoption trafficking case." Below that, another headline. "Financial fraudster and accomplice face federal charges." "They took deals," I told Maria. "Mom, Justin, Callie, all of them. Reduced sentences for full cooperation." "And your father?" "Testifying against Mom. Turns out he kept records of everything, just never had the courage to use them." I smiled bitterly. "Too little, too late." Maria touched my hand. Her fingers were rough from gardening, real in a way my mother's manicured ones never were. "It's not too late for us." Inside her modest house, photos covered the walls. Maria's life, her other children, the family I could have had. But there was also an empty album waiting on the coffee table. "For new memories," she'd said. My phone rang. Wade. "Hey," he said. "Just checked on that foundation you wanted to start. Lawyers say the paperwork's ready." "Perfect." "Did Raylene send the list?" "Yeah. First 10 cases identified. All women who lost children to your mother's scheme. We can start making contact next week." After hanging up, I explained to Maria, "I'm using what's left of the trust fund to help reunite families like ours, and to provide legal support for women being exploited." "Your mother would hate that." Maria grinned. "I love it." A text from Raylyn popped up. "Callie wants to talk, says it's important. Should I tell her to shove it?" I showed Maria the message. "What will you do?" she asked. "Nothing." I deleted the text. Some bridges need to stay burned. The garden wind chimes tinkled, carrying the scent of tomatoes and sage. Maria stood, brushing dirt from her jeans. "Stay for dinner? I make good enchiladas." "I'd like that." As she cooked, I helped set the table. a simple wooden one. Nothing like my mother's imported marble. Maria's other children would be arriving soon. My half-siblings. Another chance at family, this time built on truth. You know, Maria said, stirring the sauce, revenge is like these tomatoes. You plant it, tend it, watch it grow. But at some point, you have to decide. Let it rot, or make something nourishing from it. I thought about the foundation, the families we'd help, the truth finally exposed. I choose nourishing. Good. She tasted the sauce. Because life is too short for rotting things. The doorbell rang, her other children arriving. Before opening it, I hugged Maria, breathing in her tomato and sage scent. Thank you, I whispered, for not giving up. Never, she said fiercely. Not on you. Not ever. My phone buzzed one last time. An email from Wade. Found another case. Woman named Nicole. Justin tried to scam her last year. Want to help her? I looked at Maria, setting out plates. At the empty album waiting to be filled. At the garden where broken things could grow into something beautiful. Yes, I typed back. Let's help her. Let's help them all. The doorbell rang again. Through the window, I saw my new siblings waiting. Beyond them, the Arizona sunset painted the sky in honest colors. No more lies, no more pretending. Just truth, tomatoes, and the family I chose. I opened the door,